This weekend we celebrate the feast of the baptism of the Lord. The very short passage that St Luke gives us shows us that God has anointed the Messiah, has anointed his Son, Jesus, to go out and to heal and save the world. John is a growing man now and is baptizing in the River Jordan, which is a sacred river because it was in the crossing of the Jordan that the people came into the land of promise, the land of milk and honey, and so it was an appropriate place for John's baptism of Jesus. John's baptism was a baptism that was basically understood as coming back to God. When people kind of begin to wander away, not from God, but because they wander away from God, no matter how far they run, he's going to be there. Maybe before you get there even, to welcome you to your new place and your new hideout. But what he is talking about basically is something quite different. He's talking about the nature of a personal relationship with God, that God has always had with his people. And it's quite different from a presence. It's not just a presence, it's a loving, sharing presence. Jesus knows, John knows that the Messiah is coming. He knows it's Jesus, and he is telling his people that now and after him he will come. He is not the Messiah, John. He is not the anointed one, because he baptizes just with water, which means come and confess your sins and turn back to God. And then he saw Jesus coming and he stopped and he said, I cannot baptize you. Why? Because the Messiah is the Son of God and without sin. And Jesus then says something rather strange to him. He says, let it be at this time, and then later you will understand. And so he baptized him. It wasn't because he was a great sinner. Of course not. He was doing it to let us know that he would always not be among the high and mighty, not be among those who felt that they somehow had no need for God's forgiveness. But he would take on the guilt and the fear and the pain and the sorrow of all the people, all those who stood in with him in the waters of baptism. When a little baby, the water is poured over the little child at baptism, what happens is that the covenant with the Father is made through Jesus. And through Jesus, this child now has new life, because Jesus is one with humanity, one with us, one with our tears, and one with our laughter. And so it is that it makes a new beginning. So today we celebrate not only Jesus' baptism, but we celebrate God's gracious coming among us in a very human way. We celebrate the baptism of ourselves. The covenant of love is extended from Father to Son to all the children of God. And this is why today there is a great celebration. It's the beginning of something new. It's the beginning of a new hope, the beginning of a new faith. And of course, it is the beginning of the sharing of a new kind of love where we give ourselves to God and God gives himself to us. The baptism of Jesus, something awesome happened. We're not sure what happened, but certainly something truly happened. And Jesus takes up his ministry and people begin to recognize him in the authentic teaching of God, a chosen servant of God, and one who carries the sins of the world. The time ahead of us is a time to listen attentively to the word of the Lord, to listen to the words of Jesus, and to look for the divine shining through all people and all creation. We can experience this by the God who loves us, by becoming more aware of our own love, more aware of the mystery of human life, more aware of the goodness in every human person. If you want to know love, we must begin to practice and be love in our own lives. God bless you this day.